let's have a chat, shall we? First, thanks to all the new subscribers out there that really help boost this channel. Now, I've got a ton of new content coming your way soon. I've got some crazy multi-million-dollar mansions that we're going to tour, and of course, some great topics to cover just in the next few weeks. But today, I wanted to slow down for a moment and answer some of your questions. Okay, well, some of these aren't even questions. I just took the liberty of addressing you like numbers on a house. So without further ado, let's get to some comments. First, let's talk to Derek. He said, "Good video. I disagree on the severity. I think it'll be worse than 2008 because of all the investor-owned inventory in Las Vegas." Okay, now on the surface, I think I know where you went with this, but here's the rub. In 2008, calling people who bought properties to rent investors is like calling crypto kids international currency traders. Sure, there were real investors back then, but the majority of people who owned multiple properties were simply speculators who had never invested before. Every cocktail waitress and valet parker owned 4 homes. People were literally losing money every month. We're talking negative cash flow by design. The only reason they owned 4 homes is so they could sell them in 1 to 2 years and flip them for more money. When values crashed, they had to let them go because they simply couldn't afford to hemorrhage all that monthly debt obligation, especially once they realized they were never going to make a penny on them. Now, over the past decade, real investors like myself purchased homes at much lower prices and with a minimum of 20% down. Not only are the majority of investors making good cash flow, most are making amazing cash flow. Rents went up and investors refinance into lower payments as well. So why would an investor sell in a down market and pay capital gains, especially when they're making positive cash flow every single month? So yeah, I see where you were going with this, Derek, but I challenge you to see this from a different perspective here. Okay, next is a nice lob from Johnny Blade. He asked, "I was wondering how come the prices for new home releases are still high?" Well, Johnny, they're already coming down. I covered that in the last video. See, builders never lower the base price. Right now, they're willing to buy down your interest rate, say to 5%. Next, they'll give you money at the design center. Next, they'll lower the prices on lot premiums or just waive them altogether. They'll throw in backyards, they'll pay off SIDs and lids, basically anything to avoid lowering the base price. When the base price gets lowered, it's like Commissioner Gordon turning on the damn bat light. They're desperate. Now, in the last video, I showed you that some builders are already lowering the final price on homes that aren't even built yet. So it's all coming here soon enough. Just wait. Now, here's an ironic one that I would have potentially dismissed. However, the exact same day Dom wrote this comment, I was speaking to an architect who told me literally the exact same thing. It's professionally known as a primary suite now, brother. Now, what he's referring to is the AIA, American Institute of Architects, recommendation that master suite further be addressed as a primary suite to avoid any racial insensitivity. Now, I'm not touching this subject with a 10-foot pole. I'll let the Hodge twins or someone else have fun with this one. Even the NBA is no longer referring to team owners as owners anymore. They're now referred to as governors. Now, all this changing of nomenclature just makes me really feel old, but whatever. From now on, you'll hear me say primary suite in our property tours. So thanks for the homie hookup, Don. I appreciate it. Thanks for it. All right, here's a good one from Sticky Stuff. It's more like salty stuff to me. They wrote, "You guys made a lot of money. Now it's doomsday for you. Hooray for buyers who are looking in the $250,000 price range." I don't know. I feel like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder here.
Huh. What do you mean, you people?
Okay, now, it wouldn't be a comment section without a little bit of trolling. I get that. And thank you for thinking that I made a lot of money. I think. All right. Well, I hate to burst your bubble here, salty stuff, but I just looked and there's only 38 homes in Las Vegas priced under $250,000. Frankly, I don't see the low end of the market getting killed like the high end. You're still competing with investors that are paying cash and 20% down buyers. You also have a ton of competition from first-time home buyers. Not to mention, nobody has built these affordable homes for like 2 decades. So I hate to burst your salty bubble, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Now, go out there and leave a nice comment on someone's page and buy yourself some good karma. Now, here's a refreshing dose of optimism. Sarah asks, so is it feasible to expect a $200,000 price drop on a $500,000 home by January? Sarah, I love your enthusiasm, but no. Now, I suck at math, but put a $sign in front of it and like suddenly I'm Will Hunting. I'm highly fluid at calculating 3% too. Sorry, it's a realtor joke for you guys out there. All right, but seriously, $200,000 would be a 40% reduction. Even during the Great Recession of 2008, prices didn't fall 40% in 6 months. So again, I love your ambition. Maybe I can get you an internship with Dr. Evil or something, but no, Sarah. I love you, but that's not feasible. If that does happen, it means we're growing arms out of our heads due to the radioactive poison that we've all been exposed to. All right, now for a serious one. Marco states, in the 2007 to 2009 crash, it took the housing market 5 years to bottom in Vegas. Yada, yada, yada. It took a lot of really bad stuff across the country combined to crash the market that hard. Unless a black swan event occurs, this crash may not be as bad or as long. Yada, yada, yada. First off, I agree. This isn't 2008. I don't think this will be nearly as bad. Maybe say a third as bad with regards to pricing. But we're not going to see a wave of foreclosures. Now, here's what I want to address. The crash was really from mid-2008 through 2011. Back in October of 2011, I did a video on YouTube, on this channel, regarding a law that was passed in Nevada, and I predicted the market would have no inventory and prices would surge in the spring. Now, at the time, everyone thought I was a moron since we were riddled with an oversupply of inventory at that moment. Well, by spring of 2012, we had no inventory, and that was the beginning of the bottom as investors just descended on Vegas and bought everything in sight for multiple years thereafter. I was featured in the Wall Street Journal several times for that prediction, so look it up. What people forgot is that it took about 4 years for prices to completely bottom out. The so-called crash, it wasn't overnight. It was a terrible time here in Vegas. It then took us an entire decade just to get back. So no, it won't be that bad, but it just could take 18 months at least to bottom out. Now, here's my favorite one. 6'1"? You're probably 5'11" on a good day. Damn, girl, your troll game is set to strong here. Now, I'm not an actor or a basketball player. I can't see any reason for me to lie about something so utterly arbitrary. But since you called me out, yes, I'm 6'1" and about 210 if you weigh me after cardio on a Friday and after I've worked out 5 days in a row this week. Now, weigh me on a Monday morning, I might be pushing 225 from all the martinis and burritos I threw down my pie hole that same weekend. Man, I feel like Kevin Durant on this burner phone having like a Twitter war against a 14-year-old in their parents' basement right now. But just because you trolled me, I'm going to find some creative ways to have fun with this. So start watching my upcoming property tour videos, and I'll make sure to find some fun ways to shine some light on your shade. Okay, guys, thanks for watching this casual video. Let me know, do you guys like this format? Would you like to see more of these casual chats? Stay tuned for more great content, including some amazing property tours. Be sure to click and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Deuces.